Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Friday. We are in the love month. This is February the 7th. I want to
Love
welcome
month.
and Black History Month. We black all year, but we
Yes.
extra black in February.
Blackity black, black, black.
Okay, in that order. So listen, I am Keisha. I'm one half of the host of the Regal Mindset podcast show. Jay, you want to go?
I am Joy, the coach. I am the other half of the Regal Mindset podcast, and we are ready to take you into some elevation today.
For sure, for sure. It's time. It's time. And to be honest, it's not that some of us have not been preparing for this moment or that we've
Mhm.
not thought about it, but we just feel like maybe there's some things that we can offer to you all, to our listeners, our community, our family,
Mhm.
that will help you elevate, like you said, or either level up in 2025.
Right.
Uh,
It's,
and it's
it's
necessary.
important. It's necessary. You
Yeah,
you said exactly right. It's
yeah,
necessary. It's important
yeah.
because I know both of us, I could say, I know you have a heavier weight, but I know both of us are feeling the weight of what's going on. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are. But we can't focus on that to the point where we stop moving in the direction for our own financial freedoms and things like that. We can't let this stop us from making a move, from fear or thinking that we are not going to be able to win in this game. We are going to win. And we have
Absolutely.
to hold on to that faith and to that belief and know what you bring to the table. You're going to win. There's no
Absolutely.
possible.
Absolutely. I will add to that, and I appreciate those powerful words of encouragement and inspiration. We are resilient, right? We are a culture and a community of resilient people. We've been through some things that are unimaginable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've come through on the other side, if not stronger, but certainly better.
Right.
So hopefully, we're speaking to the ones tonight specifically who recognize that there's opportunities to be better, to be a better version of yourself. And so we're hoping that what we share again will help you, or at least offer you the tools to be able to get there. So we
Right.
leveling up, baby. 2025. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
like you
This our
said,
year.
yeah.
This is
Listen,
our year.
homeboy 47, I appreciate you. If nothing else, the lesson in this, okay, not just for
Listen,
myself, but so many other people who are listening, that we are not going to sit quietly. We're going to level up. And then not only are we going to level up, that we're going to do it in your faces.
right. Because, I said this probably not out loud, but I wasn't there with Black Wall Street. I'm not that old.
Right, right.
But what I can say is the fear that came after that situation paralyzed Black people, paralyzed the community. And so the difference now is that we should not operate in that level of fear. And right now, we can work underground to perfect our things to where when this war is over, we're coming out on top because we've been doing what we ain't let the left hand know what our right hand was doing. We're not putting it out there on Front Street because when the smoke clear, we just gonna pop out and show niggas.
Okay.
And that's the way it needs to be. So you have to be silent in this time. And when I say silent, not against injustice, silent as in your moves that you're making. That's extremely important on leveling up. You can't run your mouth and think that your plan is going to get pushed. You have to strategize, you have to plan, and you have to initiate these things. You got to keep your mouth closed.
Yeah. Well,
You
I'll
know,
go even one further. There's a football game happening Sunday. It's called a Super Bowl. I can guarantee you that one coach is not going to yell across the field what play they're about to play. So we
right.
have to learn how to move in silence. And like you said, this is one of those times.
This
It's
is one of those
imperative.
times. It's
Yeah.
imperative, especially, and I'm be honest, I'm only speaking to our Black people. I care, but I don't. And that's my own personal opinion. That does not have to do with anything with Keisha. But
Okay.
what I'm saying is, I'm so pro black right now, and I don't care what that looks like because I I'm recently starting to see the beauty and the luxury of being black. Because it had got to one point where I didn't even want to check those boxes on job applications.
Mm,
Even when DEI and affirmative action, which never was for us, was in place because I wanted you to look at my resume.
right.
And if I check black female with a disability and all of the other statuses, are you really looking at my resume? Right. And so there, even with everything stacked against us, we want to take this opportunity to give you tools of success, resources, and things that we feel are necessary to help you level up in 2025 because this is not going to last long. This is not going to last long. 1 year is not long. Even if it lasts 2 years, it's not long enough. One, because what we're experiencing is that the tables have turned. And as much as they want us to be the problem, we literally took a step back and let them fight amongst each other. We are no longer the single person in this fight. Let them fight and let us go do what we need to do. And so, like one of the things you brought up, investing in yourself.
Yeah.
How do you invest in yourself? Did you want to start with there?
Sure. Yeah. So I wrote down at least 5 things, right? And these 5 things are personal to me also, in the sense that I've done them at various times and continuously throughout my professional journey, as well as personally as well. Continuous learning,
Mm-hmm.
your mindset, your mental health check-ins or capacity, building strong networks, financial literacy and
No, you're
investment.
going too fast. I can't even type that fast. Jesus
Oh, I'm
Christ.
sorry. Okay, I'm gonna
I'm
put it
trying
in
to
book
dictate.
too.
So you said continuous learning.
Yeah, continuous learning is one. So let's
Uh-huh.
break this down, right? Let's talk about each one of them. So continuous learning, what does that mean for me specifically, and how can that help me in this climate, at this stage, at this moment in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Continuous learning for me has always been um, something that you can put in your backpack to kind of help you. And if you need to pull it out or you need to access it or pull that card, then it's readily available, right? It's
Right.
not something that you can just do sometimes just overnight. It's a continuous gradual thing, right? So for example, if you're trying to gain a certification or a degree, that's a gradual thing. It's not going to happen overnight. So that has helped me in a lot of ways, put me in rooms that I would not have otherwise been able to go into.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it's also hindered me at times in the sense that when I go, especially when I first got out of the military, I first, started applying for jobs and trying to look for employment. Well, with your experience and your degrees, we really can't afford to pay you.
That's not my problem.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you because I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
go any place where you're gonna already cut me off at my knees. I need to eat.
Right.
I need to be able to take care of myself. I need to be
Right.
able to sustain some sort of lifestyle that is similar to where I just came from. I ain't
Right.
going
Right.
backwards, right? So that has helped me in terms of my professional career. One thing that or I should say, another thing that I've been adding throughout not just this process, but for the
Mm-hmm.
last few years in terms of better developing myself, is reading more, right? My problem with that is I'm reading multiple different books. So it takes me longer to finish an
Mm-hmm.
actual book because my mind is focused or placed in various things. That could be a positive, that could be a negative. I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts about that? So continuous learning, that in itself, what is your perspective on that?
So with the continuous learning, I'm 100% on board. What you stated about making sure that you're educating yourself in some way. And I know a lot of people quick to say, well, I don't like school. That's your problem. Because it's not about school, it's about learning, it's about expanding your thinking, expanding your knowledge base. And you do it in different ways. You don't always have to. We did that whole episode about is college a scam? I still feel that way. I feel now I am going to backpedal on something.
Okay.
And this has to do with continuous education. I change how I feel in the aspect of college being a scam versus the degree being a scam.
Mm.
I think the degree is more of a scam because they're only limited to certain studies that are relevant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then within those certain studies, it's kind of like doesn't allow a person to really get to know and do what they want to do. And then also, regardless on the level of education you obtain, it's still not enough. The
I
reason
agree.
why I feel that school, specifically college, is big is because we take that concept out of life where white people build on that concept. They don't go to college to learn. They go to college to network. They
Mm.
go to college to build connections and relationships. All of their sororities and fraternities, their legacy, right? They can go anywhere in the area that, because what they're going to do is they're going to get an internship from a
Yeah.
friend,
Yeah.
from their daddy's friend, right? So we have to go in thinking, let's network and let's build these relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to be social, because we go in, we need to keep our blinders on. They're social as hell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You need to be more social so that you learn, find out different people, and you can start having friends. Because one thing about their structure, it's all about who you know, as we
Mm.
see in the White House today.
Mm.
Nobody has a skill, but it's who you know.
Loud and wrong.
And we have to build that. We have to build that type of network. Yes, we have D9 and all of that, but you don't see, and I'm not pointing out one particular group, but you don't see that many alpha men CEOs. So then he can't really give you that hand up. They have a lot of people in different industries,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not in industries or in positions where they can give you a hand up or give you a free pass. So you have to build those relationships. And we have gravitated from being social. When we was younger, we was outside all the time until the lights came on. These kids don't know how to go outside.
Okay.
They don't know how to tell time on the clock. They don't know how to do a lot of different things. And it's like, you just need to go outside and see what the sun feel like. Go ride a bicycle. They don't even know how to ride a bicycle. So go to school to socialize. While you there, don't waste your money. Get a learning, get an education, but
Mm-hmm.
focus on building, understanding how systems work. And if nothing else, learn money, economics, finance, accounting. Learn how to deal with money, right? And then
Absolutely.
so with continuous learning, learn another language. That's continuous
Mm.
learning.
That's a
You
good
should
one.
have more than one skill, because you should be able to go into another industry in a job and still succeed, right? You should not be an unarmed security guard for the rest of your life and you're 40, 50 years old. Yeah, at least you can go
Mm.
get an arm. At least you can become armed. I'm being real. You should not, and I'm not picking at nobody, but at this point in our life, you should not be the head cashier at Popeyes unless you own that franchise. We need to start making ourselves go a little bit further. So you got Udemy, you got Coursera, you have
Mm-hmm.
there's Harvard give free classes, even if it's an intro, you know, learn something else. Like right now, yes, by on W2, I'm a project director, W2. But if that something fall through, I can go right back to a warehouse and be a senior operations manager. I could be on an executive level because I do operations and project management. You have to make yourself marketable. You
Mm-hmm.
should not be stuck in
Mm-hmm.
one siloed in one thing. So to
Absolutely.
me, that is what continuous learning. Like you go into reading books. If they want to hide something from us, all they got to do is put it in the book, because only a certain percentage of us go looking for it. We always want, well, tell me what, will you tell me? No, I'm not. I'm not. I had to tell a lot of people that I'm not. You go look. I just told you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go look it up.
Yeah.
And if they got Audible, you got
Yeah.
Kindle, you need to sit down with a book
Yeah.
because then you'll really see what's being said. Oh, what is that book name? It's the something about the Negro where this white man Hoffman wrote this book about black people and how to navigate and market to us and keep us in a certain slave mindset when it comes down to purchasing goods and in economics.
Oh
They
wow.
put that in a book.
Yeah. That's
So
interesting.
no. And if we really want to be honest, look at what they tried to stop us from, and that's what we need to try to go after. They
Mm-hmm.
made sure we didn't go to school. They made sure your parents didn't read and all of this. It's a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge is power. We're
Mm-hmm.
not saying degree, we're saying knowledge is power. Because then you wouldn't have voted for Trump for $1,400 stimulus check.
I'm here for it, Coach. Listen.
You wouldn't have, because you would have looked at the numbers.
Okay. And one other good thing that all great points, by the way. Let me just say that first. Uh, all good points. One other thing that I want to add is also some very good podcasting. Regal
Yes.
Mindset has podcast shows. You can check us out on YouTube, and we also have Apple Spotify. I'm sorry, Apple podcast as well, and we're on Spotify. We have great shows, great content that will
Mhm.
help motivate you, coach you, guide you, and direct you to either resources or on some path that's going to better help you be the best version of yourself. Podcast is also a continuous
You
learning.
have to, but let me explain. Let me add something on to that.
Yeah,
We're giving our time and our money
yeah,
because we don't tell you if you want to donate, you're more than welcome. But we don't solicit your donations, not yet. And we get into sponsorship, so keep your eye out for that.
yep,
But in the same sense, you're getting it for free because we're giving you time and we're putting our own money into this to make sure that you're as educated as possible.
absolutely. And we give you lots of tips and resources.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go move on because we got
What's the
quite a bit.
second one? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so mindset and mental health, right? All great points.
Oh, you
We
already
have
put it in there?
yeah, I just put
Okay.
I listed them, but for some reason they just lumped them all there together.
Okay.
We've got to prioritize some sort of therapy, right? We all have our issues or things that we
Mhm.
have in our little backpack that we need to take out or sort out and work through so that we don't continue to hold on to those things again that do not belong
Mhm.
to us, right?
Right.
So that's one thing. Journaling is also another thing that I picked up through counseling, through the
Mhm.
recommendation of a counselor as well. Affirmations, um, good groups that you can connect with who are all like-minded people who are also positive, always looking
Mhm.
to motivate and coach and build you up, things of that nature. You want to assert yourself into those types of environments and those conversations and relationships, right?
Mhm.
That are going to help you to elevate and encourage you, point you in the right direction.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's absolutely true. And I know it was a big taboo thing about Black people going to
yeah,
therapy. We all need it at
yeah.
something to talk and have a different outlook. And I think that's one of the bigger things that we miss. Sometimes you need just a different perspective,
Mm-hmm.
like because the way we're raised, experiences in life, you already think in a certain way. Even
Absolutely.
if you are successful in everything that's around you, and you could still have a trigger, a wall
Mm-hmm.
built up, some type of trauma response, and you just want to say, oh, that's just how I am. No, you have a trauma response. That's why you're the way you are. You see why nobody don't want to be around you? It's a reason somebody don't everybody, if two or more people got a problem with you and it's the same problem, it's you. You are the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
What did we talk about that last? Like, am I the problem? You're
Right.
the problem.
Yeah,
You're the
absolutely.
problem. If you're not progressing in life, you're the problem. If you are a young man or even a young woman, because I got a
Yeah.
real hard against studs who don't do right. you
Yeah.
know, and you living off of people, you're not stable, you're the problem. If you have to be so dependent on weed and gaming and all of this, you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get mad when the chips are not falling in your favor because you don't want to stop doing certain things. I'm not saying, oh, give up your weed. What I'm saying is when it become your life and you're not Waka Flocka or Wiz Live, whatever them rappers are,
With
and you
Khalif.
can't
Yeah.
live that life. Yeah, Wiz Khalif, because he said he do like 29 and up a day. You don't
Oh,
have his money.
that's a lot, I think.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like I was
Yeah.
like,
Well,
when do you stop?
listen, I certainly don't want uh, his behavior, but I will.
Right.
I'll say all good points. I think that a lot of times, like you said, our culture, our community has steered away from therapy. Probably in my mind, I think it's because of ignorance, right?
Mm-hmm.
People will say, "Oh, they're not going to help you," or give you some sort of stigmatism that just is unhealthy one, and they're
But
just
it's fair.
uneducated.
But it's fair because remember how they used to test on us. So I
Okay,
understand the fear where
okay,
a
yeah,
lot of the older people and then they just passed it on.
right.
You
I
knew
see
that
that.
person had a problem. I mean, my mama was like that. Like I'm first to say, they always say, y'all know how she is. We know what that means. You know she gonna
Yeah,
crash out at any moment.
crash out. I love it.
My mama was that one in the family. Y'all know
Yeah,
how Penny is.
yeah,
If you know that, you know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
One
yeah.
day she's smiling, next minute she done flip the table over, and you like, what just happened? So everybody have that, but we have to keep in mind that, and preferably get you a black doctor, therapist. Why? Because they can relate to you better. I had a wonderful
I
white
feel like
therapist
yeah.
at one time. She was wonderful. I
Mm,
really liked her. But she was so shocked by some of the stuff I told her as if it was not real life. And I'm like,
mm,
no, that, and she was like, that's not a problem. Like it was common. And she couldn't relate.
late. Yeah,
And they categorize us differently. And that is a fact.
yeah,
A white person can go in there and say, I'm tired, and they're going to say she's stressed. We go in there and say we tired, they're going to say we're irritated and agitated, and they're going to add words that we don't need.
yeah.
They do
Usually
it to
negative.
kids. They always go in a different route.
Yeah,
If I'm being assertive, you say I'm aggressive. It's always a negative. So you need to
yeah,
go where somebody understands you. You want to go, if you got high blood pressure, you need to go to a good black doctor because they understand our levels,
yeah.
you
All
know.
good points.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I would agree. You touched on this earlier, but I'll add also building a strong network, right?
Yes,
And you mentioned
that's
or you
big.
referenced, Greek organizations that there's not a lot of or very many alpha men or women that are in position to bring another person up, right?
Mhm.
You can say or reference, I know this person, right? Sometimes they ask you questions or something like that on a resume, or I'm sorry, on an application, but that person is not in a position to say, I want to hire this person, and this is
Mhm.
the salary that we should be negotiating
Right.
for said person, right? And that's necessary, and we need that again. We need to have people in place already, not getting in place, already in place, right?
Mhm.
To help have conversations and to advocate for us on our behalf because we're on the other side of the door waiting for an answer, right?
Right.
So having those strong networks, building those networks and relationships with people who you may not necessarily even have anything in common with, right? But
Mhm.
because you guys may be in the same sorority or fraternity organization or what have you, they're able to offer, say, you know what, I don't know this person that well, but let's give this person a try, right? Let's
Right.
give this person a shot.
And it's like, okay, you know the show Power?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we know Tariq St. Patrick
Yep.
and the little guy, the white guy that he was running around with, that's
Yeah.
a Nepo baby.
Okay.
He literally that white guy, his friend,
Uh-huh.
always hung on the tail of what his father. They get in trouble. I'm gonna call my daddy. I'm gonna call my daddy. They get in trouble. Your daddy can get you out because they know people.
Mm-hmm.
They know judges. They know that. And we as Black people need to build that up. We need to be represented in those spaces
Mm-hmm.
because one of the interns that they did, they went and interned at law offices. They
Yep.
went and interned at stockbrokers. They did all of that to get their experience during the summers or during the time, and they probably wasn't even getting paid half of nothing, but they
Yeah.
was learning skills, invaluable skills.
Yeah.
Is that the right way to use that?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Skills. And that's the whole thing. And we can't ignore that. We can't ignore the benefit of that. And it's like, if you want to be in politics, what's that goofy girl that's the press secretary? She went
You know
to
what?
that goofy thing, went
I know who
to
you're talking about.
college on a softball scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
She
Well,
doesn't have a skill to save her life, but she interned under a
uh,
judge, intern under this. She got in and she married this old man. Now she coming out with a whole thing on how to be groomed to have that type of life.
mm.
Girl, how many years? You double digit years younger than this man.
She could just put expert OnlyFans management.
Exactly. She need an OnlyFans. But
Yeah.
my whole thing is she had in her, it was a mindset
Yeah.
of where I want to be.
Yeah.
This is the life that I want. And you have to navigate through that. And we have to position our children and position young people. And we have to be more active in the community, doing things with these young people to say, okay, here go a space where you can be good at because we don't know them.
Yeah.
So they mad and they arguing all the time, but they can make a good point. Let me help you get in the law. Come on, you like to argue too much, but
Right.
you always
Debate.
got a good
Yeah.
point.
Okay.
We need to introduce them to these things. And we're responsible for that because
Yeah.
we're in places now to where we're in levels of authority where we can introduce them to that. Or we can start a organization to introduce them to that. We have to own that. If
Yeah.
you're over
Yeah.
a certain age, you have to own introducing them. And you can't do that while you're at McDonald's
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
unless you're home.
nurturing. Yeah, nurturing our seeds, right? You pour
Right.
into them what they show interest in, just like you said.
If you're a
Um,
franchise owner, why are you not hosting a summer program to teach them how to franchise or
yeah,
what franchising is?
yeah,
They
absolutely.
don't
If
get
it's
that.
not this business, here's other businesses that you can look at, or here's how you take ownership or seek ownership for these other companies. There's
Because
smaller
all
companies,
right,
or what have you.
all kids see is the money. They see
Yeah,
the car, they see, but you don't tell them the story on the right way to get it.
yeah.
So
Now we are thankful that you all,
mhm,
are in position. Some of us are in positions
right.
to be franchise owners. Yes, we're thankful, but there's ways, and I'm not saying that you're not, right? But perhaps maybe we need to see it on a larger scale, right? We need to see it more often, right? Um, I'll also say that there's times and opportunities that we can learn things from other people outside, our community. Oh, I see this person moving that way. I see this person
Mhm,
handling things in that manner. I'll take that, for me, that I'll put that in my little
mhm,
toolbox. So I don't really like the way he handled her, and so we know not to do that. So there's things that
mhm.
on the flip side that we can learn also from our counterparts that can either serve us well or either not so much that we want to be associated with it at all. So I just want
Right.
to offer that as well. Another
Absolutely.
thing, financial literacy. And I know that we
Mhm,
talk about financial literacy and investing all the time here on Regal Mindset.
mhm,
The reason we do that is because, as we spoke yesterday on Shay's podcast, Let's Talk That Talk, where we spoke about how the words that we use, right? How your son
mhm,
doesn't want to say spend, that he's intentional about using the word we circulate our money, right? Or
mhm.
it is just currency, right? Those types of things and behaviors are something that we should be pouring into our children, our household, the people that we are close to, so that we build better habits and then we take those out, into the world. But financial literacy is a
Mhm.
must. If you don't know and or have any literacy in terms of financials at all, then you should be seeking it.
Mhm.
That is necessary. You have to know where your money is coming in, how to budget said money, how to continue to let said money grow, so that we're not at a place where we have to rob Peter to pay Paul. It's just
Mhm.
a matter of, let me readjust some things and maybe pull from this investment to make sure I take care of that, right? Or just
Right.
strategizing our finances in a whole, right? But it is very imperative that we get a hold of our financial literacies and at the very least understand what's going on with it.
Exactly, because if when we were growing up, I know they taught us about checkbooks.
Yeah.
We learned that,
Yeah.
and so we had the basic knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't learn it at home.
Ah, okay.
So I learned years ago when I got my first car repossessed that I need to learn how to pay my bills.
Okay. That'll
And I
teach you.
think that was right. That was in the 90s. Yeah, in the
Okay.
90s. And I
Yeah,
was like,
happened to me too. Yeah, I remember.
yeah, that's when I woke up. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
So you learn those things, but to position your child, now we have more knowledge. And we should be sharing that to teach kids having a bank account, not a chime card,
Mm-hmm.
not a go bank, not a green dot, but an actual bank, whether it's virtual or not, but it's a real bank.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding what the difference is between a high yield savings and a regular savings, the purpose of it, because you want your money to make money, even
Mm-hmm.
as it grow.
Mm-hmm.
401k, the benefit and the downfall of it, right? All kind of financial instruments that they have access to. Understanding the value of time over a dollar,
Mm-hmm.
right? How to pay their bills, how to, like you said, balancing.
Mm-hmm.
But we also need to teach them the financial connections, because one, choosing a bank, everybody go to Bank of America because they approve you the quickest. They're gonna give you that red card. But you realize you're in a relationship with somebody who don't even support you as a customer because they don't have programs and options for you to grow in that bank. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to know other options bank,
Mm-hmm.
but they're everywhere, so you can get to them quicker, and stuff like that. You need to understand these things. Your credit. I know I messed up my credit so many times because I never had anybody to say anything about credit. When I went and moved out of my mama's house, and I went, and this when they used to have the house phones, and I called to get me a house phone, and they said we can't give you a house phone, and I was 15 when I got my first place. And I said, why you can't give me a house phone? She said, because you already got one. No, I don't. She pulled a record. Oh, you got a 1991. I said, ma'am, I was 13. I started out wrong.
Yeah.
And then it just kept going from there. I would get a lot of credit cards, mess them up. We got to learn this, not to dig yourself into that type of situation.
Yeah.
you know,
Interest rates
Financial
also.
literacy. Right.
Yep.
And then, we can give you a Robinhood account, but we should, as a parent, should be able to get you to where, okay, let me help you establish credit the right way. I'm going to add you onto one of my credit cards
Yep.
so that you can be building as you grow,
Yep. It's called
right? And when you
authorized user.
go, exactly. And when you ain't gonna use it, but when you go, mama got you straight.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
Absolutely. I
not
agree
a
with that.
fairy tale life.
Yeah.
That is literally some of the tools that white people give their children. The reason why some of them, not all, are set up in a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah.
They not always have access to $1 million the way Trump said, my daddy gave me $1 million. Everybody don't have access to that.
Mm-hmm.
but they position them to be in the right way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was just gonna say that's what she just giving y'all the playbook right there. Rewind it back, listen to it again. She just gave you the whole play right then. And we can't, I want to also add this too. We can't always use the excuse, well, I don't know. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
Google it.
We just shared with you. We didn't know either, but we had to figure it out. Again, if you don't know or understand financial literacy, there's too many resources out here that are at your availability, right? Go to the bank, say, hey, show me how to balance this book, this checkbook that you gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Teach me what the difference is in this interest rate. Why is this savings account more
That's
than
a
that?
good
You
one
know what
right
I'm
there.
saying?
The
All of
interest
these
rate.
things, yes,
Okay.
we can't no longer say, I don't know. I don't have the information when it's too easy out here to get it. It's too easy out here to get
Beyond. But they also have to be taught that your eyes can't be bigger than your stomach.
it. Mm-hmm.
Because I watch it's on TikTok, this car dealer, and people call him to get them out of bad situations with their car.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why you don't have nowhere to live, but you got a Hellcat. Your payment's like $900 something a month or more. Your interest rate is 18%, and now it's on the verge of getting repoed. But when he offered you, because he offered them a Toyota Camry, fairly new. I can't be seen in that. Well, wait a minute. What you mean you can't be seen in that?
That's
You,
all
you don't even have nowhere to go.
right?
And you have to understand when your eyes is bigger than your stomach. And
For sure.
that means you saw all that food and then you put it on your plate and you can't eat it because now you're full.
Yeah.
That's what that means, just for the
Yeah.
young people.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, we have to show them that, like, you're looking at the end result, but you didn't know how I got here. And I think that's a part of financial literacy. Don't go in there getting no 18% because you got a down payment of $5,000 from your tax return. It's not that serious.
Man, you talking right now. You know what else I'm going to add? And this just happened to me literally today. Passive income.
Oh, man.
Find a way to create some kind of passive income. And the reason passive income is important because I trust and believe it is going to be a rainy day.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever money and or income you have, you need something else on top of that for the rainy days. Okay,
so
that's that.
Yeah.
Then I want to also add, because we got a 20. She I don't know. She the oldest kid. And anyway, she came over today, right? And she was saying that she wants to buy. She's ready to buy a house. Okay, great, right? Figure out, how much you can afford, what the interest rates are right now. But I want to strongly encourage you to maybe look for an income producing property, whether it's a triplex, duplex, fourplex, something along those lines, so that your tenants are taking care of the bulk of the mortgage rate or the mortgage. I'm sorry. And then when you're ready, if it's a year, 2 years, move out and purchase another one. And then until you
Right.
get ready to, purchase your own forever home. And then by that time, you'll have enough bread, or you should, if you do things right, you'll have enough bread to put a good bulk of that down. But that also falls under financial literacy and investing.
So can I add 2 points to that?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So there's a program,
Okay.
NACA, NACA.com.
Okay.
This is for young people, not low, but lower income individuals.
Okay.
Where you make a good amount to live and you ready to purchase. NACA guarantees zero money down, no closing costs. They cover all of that. They take you through a 1-year program to teach you home ownership, credit, all of that. Whether your credit good or bad, everybody go through that year, and they give you the lowest interest rate possible on a brand new home. Right?
I love it.
So I told all our kids, y'all better sign up for NACA. I say, so that when you're ready to buy a house, you ain't got to worry about that 3.5%. Because NACA, you don't put nothing down. not for a house. Another thing is under HUD. HUD has a rule for first responders, teachers, public servants. You will if you go through HUD to get a home, and it can be brand spanking new.
Mm.
HUD will give you 50% off of any home.
Oh wow, that's
And
a really
yeah,
good one.
and you can qualify for the Good Neighbor Grant in any state. Everybody got it.
Okay, that's good.
HUD,
That's
if you are a teacher, police officer, firefighter, EMT, public servant, HUD will give you 50% off of any house that you want.
mm.
There's so then with what Keisha was talking about with the whole duplex, triplex, quadplex, that FHA has now approved up to quadplexes, which is 4 units, as your first home. So you can use FHA, which is 3.5% down.
Mm-hmm.
They give you the really good interest rate. Now, with them, because you're not putting that much down, you do have to have the insurance, but that's a whole nother conversation. So your payment might be a slightly higher than it would be if you had more down, but they allow you to do a single family. And I wish I would have known that.
Me too.
Because when I bought our house, that wasn't an option. So now you can do a single family home, a duplex, triplex, or up to a quadplex, brand spanking new build. You can get it built from the ground up if you want. Under FHA, and like she said, if you do a quadplex, you live in one because you got to stay there at least, I think, 5 years. It has to be your home address. You have to be, that's your primary residence, and then you rent out the other ones. And real good, I'm glad my LS jumped in. They just gave veteran the VA loans can do it now too.
Okay,
And
I
you
was
know
gonna
VA,
say.
yeah,
Yeah.
VA can they do up to quadplexes. You can do
Okay.
up to 4 units with no money
Okay.
down,
Yeah.
no money,
Yeah.
and y'all get the lowest interest rate. So if you're
Yeah.
interested, I do have VA loans ready. But so you can do it in an FHA and you can do it in a VA loan.
Yeah.
So when we're saying, like she said, passive income is income you don't have to do anything to get. Like you don't have to go to work to have that income because that's earned income. We're talking about something that's making money either while you sleep, whether it's dividends or what have you, or rental properties, things like that. Don't be so quick to jump on Airbnb when you don't even have a room.
Man,
That's not for you. That's
say
not a
that
conversation
again.
for you,
Say
right?
that
You need
again.
to put yourself in a particular place to be prepared for that. And listen, there's spec builders out there. If you buy a piece of land, I know it's a lot of these loans, including some other lenders that I have, can buy you the land and build a whole duplex on it for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many options. And to me, I would recommend that being first. As a first-time home buyer, I 100% would say go the route that you recommended.
I agree.
Get you a duplex, triplex, or a quadplex.
Yeah, I would have definitely gone that route had I known that information. But
Mm-hmm.
what prevented me from even probably maybe exploring it is because I knew I could access or utilize my VA loan. And with the VA loan at that time was restricted in a lot of ways. So I didn't necessarily have that option, but I had a pretty good option. So I that's the reason I went with it. But I definitely would have gone for at least a duplex or a triplex so that we can live. We may not have had as much space, but we definitely, when
It's
we get out,
temporary.
yeah, right. We leave out of here and go and buy another one, or you do it a couple times before we bought the house that we live in now. So we definitely, I'm ready. I want to do it now. To be honest with you,
You can, and people got to keep in mind for first home buyers.
Yeah.
You can be a first time home buyer again.
Multiple,
You
yeah.
just have to, you just got to stay in the house so many years. I think like 5 years. And then again, you could do another first time home buyer as long as it's not your vacation home. It has to be a primary home.
Yeah.
So the rules have been relaxed. What's not relaxed is the interest rate.
Okay. And listen, we're not telling you nothing that is exclusive to just us or the Regal Mindset podcast show. These people have been playing this play forever. They've been running this play.
I'm talking about to the end zone.
Okay.
This is how they get into it. And then what they do is or the parent will go get another home while their child is in school.
Yeah.
And turn it into rental property or put it in the kid's name or go in half with them so that while they're in school, they're getting rental income off of the property.
And they're
I'm
going to put it
telling
in the
you.
trust.
Exactly. This is stuff that we were not privy to because we thought it was only for white people. That's all I heard. That's the white people stuff. That's a mindset issue. That's a
And
mindset
ignorant.
defect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not for white people. No, it's not.
Yep.
It's for us too. We just didn't think it was open to us.
That's
We
the
can
point.
still get our 40 acres and a mule.
Okay.
I don't think I want a mule, but that's them 40 acres is
Yeah. I could sell a mule. I'll be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so let me move on to the last one. And we're going to have to do a part 2 because
we do.
Good stuff, man. This is some good stuff. Health and wellness, man. We got to exercise regularly, man. Listen, I would love to lose about 20, 30 pounds, between 20 and 30 pounds, right? I don't want to look like Poo Poo or whatever Pookie from yeah, I don't want to look like him. But we got to figure out a way that we can exercise regularly, eat nourishing foods, right? I'm an advocate for juicing. I do juicing. I do it every morning. And then just personal time where we're either relaxing, meditating, or whatever that looks like. There's any number of things that you can do, but we have to do better at our health and wellness.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I still got these hips, and I'm working on it now because I do the trizipatide shot.
Okay.
I started it 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
I don't feel nothing different yet because I'm on the very low dose. So I'm working on it, and I reached out to because I'm not ashamed about it. I had lap band in 2010, so that was 15 years ago.
Okay.
And then it stopped working. I was literally, when they approved it through the FDA, I was in the doctor then literally the next day. So I was in that whole trial period. We didn't even know the jump was going to work. And it didn't work. I threw up for years. And that's how I lost weight. I didn't have it messed up my lining and everything. So I ended up getting that taken out, and they did the sleeve. And I just didn't lose the weight for some reason. So I'm going back to see if they could do a retightening of the sleeve. But I am on the trizipatide because I need help. I'm gonna be honest with you. I need help with it. And because what we're doing, we're finding out that the sicknesses that affect us, they're not testing us for them. So we don't find out a lot of stuff. I'm talking about us Black people don't find out until the end when things are bad. And we can't. We have to advocate for ourselves.
Yeah.
And honestly, I have a nice doctor. She's a little white gay lady, so I trust her. But I'm real big on get you a Black doctor, not a black face doctor that doesn't represent us. I'm talking about you need a Negro doctor that be like, listen, get your act together. Don't come here. I need to see them numbers down. That's gonna hold you accountable and really advocate for you to get the treatment that you need. Right. And you need that. We need people in our corner.
Mm-hmm.
And so because you don't want to, this ain't the right time to die.
Yeah. Well, we ain't getting no younger. So
we ain't getting no younger. I'm looking better, but I ain't getting younger.
Hey, we're still fine as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
It is. Listen,
you better take it for what it is.
Okay, listen, but no, you're absolutely right. I know my issue is being more disciplined, so I have to be intentional about that. I'm working on it, right? I'm not gonna say I'm perfect, but I am making strides and making efforts to do better by that.
I like that.
Some new hematologist is Black since I married yesterday, and she
called you baby.
There we go. What? She called you that because your name is Keisha. You know what I'm saying? You know how he do out here in the streets. Nah.
But yeah, and a lot of us got these kids. We got to be here for these kids.
Okay, got you. She went auntie on. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, we definitely have to do
Oh.
better at our health and wellness, and we have to teach our kids to be better in terms of their wellness. As I mentioned many times before, we have adult children. We've got one that lives in the house now. She's a college student. Horrible eating habits, you know.
Mhm.
She eat out every day. Well, okay, let me say this. Let me bring that back. We eat out every day. I ain't gonna throw her under the bus. We eat out every day, you know,
Right,
and we have to do now. I do cook, I turn on the stove every now and then, but I have to do better at that.
right.
So yeah, we have to do better in terms of what we're teaching and what we exemplify model in front of them so that they leave
Yeah,
the house doing the right thing.
and you need life insurance. And the bigger
Yeah,
you are, they're not going to give it to you. I
yeah.
don't care if you have
The
the
sicker you
clean
are
bill
too.
of health.
Yeah,
They're not giving to you. And I think that let's go back to real quick the financial literacy.
yeah,
People, you need life insurance, not just the one you get from your job, because if you quit or get fired and you do not convert it over, you don't have none.
yep. You lost it,
And GoFundMe while you got on Gucci is not working for me.
and we
You
ain't
need to
frying
get
fish.
you you need to get you some life insurance and enough to cover you and to prepare your family to be comfortable. I'm not saying go get you $1 million policy because you probably don't need that much, but
Right.
you need something to make sure that you're leaving your family in a decent predicament, because funerals are expensive,
Yeah.
extremely expensive. And
Yeah.
y'all want to go out, y'all want to go in a casket made of mahogany, full coffin, because it's full couch, mahogany casket, and nobody paying for that. You're gonna get that cheapest one on the front, or I'm gonna
Mhm.
get it from Walmart because Walmart shipping 24 hours.
Wow. You
They
said
do.
that
They got
before. I
caskets
didn't
and
realize.
everything.
Yeah,
But and you have to be open to those conversations, but you need to have outside life insurance,
for sure.
something that you're paying outside every month, whether it's whole, whether it's term. I don't care. What I care about is you being buried. I'll give you a
Yeah,
discount to do your services, but the funeral home won't be paid in full before you leave.
for sure. For sure. Well, listen. One thing for certain, and two things for sure. Um, we are gonna leave here one day.
We are.
One day
Stand in
we
the
gonna leave.
lane.
Okay. And like you said, when we do, when your maker calls you, pull your number, we
Or you
want
do
to make
something wrong
sure.
when she pull your number.
Okay. Okay. But in all honesty, and even jokingly, we want to make sure that we're not leaving our family because they got to deal with enough. They're grieving over the loss of their loved one. We don't want to add to that the fact that we got to choose between a mortgage payment and making sure we pay the rest of these burial
Funeral.
costs. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that and I'm not saying that you have to leave everybody, each kid, 100,000. We're not saying that, but we want to make sure that our policies cover the type of service that we want our loved ones to carry out for us.
And yeah, and then too, you gotta keep in mind, bills don't care that you died.
At all.
I was like, listen, when my mama passed, they was calling me. I said, I'm gonna say this once, she's gone. Well, did she have an estate? She's gone. You figure out, you read between the lines, you're not
Yeah.
getting anything. She's gone. But they sometimes it depends on who the bill collector is, they come after family.
Yeah.
I had to do
They do.
probate, I had to go through a lot. So these are real life situations that most Black people, we do. I used to be a cemetery years ago in North Carolina. We do at need services. We don't do pre-need.
Uh-huh.
Pre-need is we don't plan and go get a plot, go get it, at a discount, go get your caskets picked out, have everything. Burial insurance is not life insurance. Those are two different types of insurances. You
Yeah.
got one that's strictly for burial. Then you got one that is life insurance that's supposed to help you live life insurance. But we do at need. We wait till the person died and then go to the funeral home, and then it's jacked up 32 to 50% because everybody can't agree on the day. So you want to have it on a weekend, which costs more. You got to pay for the open and closing of the grave. I mean, the pulling the dirt out, putting the dirt back, the vault that goes down in it, because you can't have the raw casket in there with the dirt. Then you got to get a casket, the headstone different, the flowers, everything is priced different. So you have to prepare for that. And that stuff is not cheap. And if you think that you live in this type of life and you smoking yourself to death, and you think you're finna go in there and get you $100,000 policy, you're gonna be paying like $300 a month. Or you're gonna get Colonial Pen, like on that commercial with them old people. You're gonna get some guarantee.
Okay. Listen.
But people need to take that serious, along with
sure.
you have to take that serious. Like, quit playing.
Yeah. Yeah, we ain't doing that. No, you're absolutely right. And what we hope, again, is that we've offered and given you guys a wealth of information that some of it you may have known or may take it lightly, but we got to stop playing. You know what I'm saying? 47 in here, his pen ain't dropped yet.
He up now. I know he up.
He up writing something against what
he calling somebody.
Okay. But we're gonna get through this, right? We are gonna not keep our heads down, but we're gonna keep stay focused, create a plan, figure out the steps to be successful, to accomplish that plan, and keep it moving.
That's it.
Yeah, we're gonna continue
to work underground.
Exactly.
We've always been successful underground.
Absolutely.
You do your work, you come back up, do what you need to do, go back down, do what you need to do.
Yeah.
They're planning. You should be planning too. You should not get, and I'm gonna say this, and I know we're about to wrap it up. That was one of the most devastating things outside of the storm with Katrina, because those people didn't have nowhere to go. And I'm not saying that is their fault at all.
Right.
But I feel if they would have been prepared mentally, maybe with even a little bit of extra money, they could have got out of there. Because when the storm started, you could have got in your car and left. They didn't have cars. They didn't have ways out. And you have to be prepared for you and your family, because you don't know what situation could happen. If Trump continue to do what he's doing and they come over here and attack, we on the East Coast. You already know what major cities they're coming for. They're coming for the financial hub, which is New York. They're coming for the government hub, which is Northern Virginia, DC, and Maryland, because we got the FBI here. We got NSA. All of those are in Maryland.
I've been to that base, yeah. The FBI.
Exactly.
Quantico.
And we got they got Quantico. They got Fort Belvoir. They got Fort Andrews Air Force Base. All of that is here.
Yep.
Where do you think they're coming? So we have a Marine base. Exactly. And we got NASA up here, off in Greenbelt. NASA. So we have to be prepared. And maybe we could do an episode on that, on what preparedness, emergency preparedness looks like, because that's a real thing. One. Yes. Two, there's no more FEMA. So FEMA is not coming out there with trucks, because he got rid of FEMA and he's literally trying to remove FEMA as an organization.
Yep.
Right? So in the case of an emergency, nobody's coming to get us. And you have to be prepared for that. Yeah. And when the warning signs are there, we want to, and if we do an episode on it, we want to prepare you on things you need to have that you can grab and freaking go.
Yeah.
And you could be okay for a couple of days until you figure out life. But you should not get caught with your pants down in this environment, in this climate that we in, because if anything go down, you need to be able to have a plan for you and your family.
Yep. Absolutely. That's a great point too. And you know what? I think that's necessary, right? I want people to, when they go back and watch and listen to the show or watch the show. Um, let us know what it is that you want us to talk about during that show, other than just being prepared and what essentials are needed, things of that nature. And we'll get those things together and see if we can get some experts to come on to help narrate the show as well,
Mhm.
and to offer some solutions, right? Or maybe some resources that we just may not be aware of. So, yeah, we could take that action item back and definitely uh, curate something that make sure it's adding value,
Mhm.
to make sure that we're all prepared, right?
We're here
Uh,
for each other.
for sure, we're gonna make it through, man. We're gonna make it.
Mhm.
Listen, he gonna do what he gonna do. But listen, I trust and have faith that God is not gonna bring us to this point and just leave us hanging.
He ain't gonna
I
leave us
know it.
hanging.
Oh no, no, no. But there's some things we can do in the meantime, right? There's some things that we can do in the meantime to help and make sure that we stay on top or come out on top, and that we're not at our knees,
Exactly.
because he feeling some type of way.
Right. You
Okay.
never know. You
Yeah,
never
yeah,
know.
absolutely, absolutely. Man, we didn't even get to the other part of of our
We got to
content.
do a part two.
Yeah, for sure. But it was great. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Shay, thank you so much again. Keish, thanks so much. We had a young somebody from YouTube, I think Nappy, to join in a little bit earlier, or Nippy, I'm sorry. But listen,
Nah.
it was great. Yeah, it was great. It was great having a conversation. Again, this is the Love Month. This is also Black History Month. We're gonna do better. We're gonna be better,
Mhm.
and we
We
still
black
behind.
for a reason. This is a
Okay,
beautiful thing.
listen. Okay, black is beautiful.
Exactly.
Black is beautiful
Like the man said, black all by itself is luxury.
all the time. All right, it's been a pleasure again. Keep a regal mindset, and we will see you all next week.